All right, so let's talk about just going through a movement prep during a workout. And the way I'd break down the full workout, if we were to look at it as series, if series A is movement prep, then series B is dynamic warm-up. Series C could be power, depending on the phase of training that you're in, or you can be sprinkling, go straight into your hypertrophy work, strength work, whatever it might be. Following the main block, we're gonna finish it off with a cool down. In some cases, depending on the training block, again, some people like to do their conditioning at the end. But today, we're gonna focus on movement prep, dynamic prep. We're gonna do some power and strength. So let's go into our movement prep. I'm gonna go right into the 90-90. 90-90 as in front leg, rear leg are in 90-degree positions. And I'm gonna make this a dynamic reach with my right arm over my left. And we're moving straight through. And we'll switch sides. Perfect, and we'll just do our windshield wipers here. You can have your hands back behind you supporting your chest. Oh, last one. Oh, there we go. So this is you going into a figure four position right there, right? And as I'm in this figure four position, you're holding on to the squat rack and just dipping down into a nice deep squat. There we go. Let's go ahead, we'll go into our dynamic prep. All right, so to get this heart rate up, just to get our body moving and breaking a sweat, I'm gonna go and do some animal flow. I'm gonna just go down straight to the floor. Beast position, I'm loading it up. Take a big step, reach up out in front of you, and then reload. Now let's go ahead. Crab position, another good one. Really challenging the shoulder stability, the mobility of our shoulders, hips, thoracic. I'm gonna bring one hand up to my chest, push my hips up to the ceiling, reach that arm up and across my body, and we repeat. Beautiful. I'd like to say that this is gonna be a combination of some dynamic power prep before we get into our plyo power series. So what I'm gonna have me start with is the kettlebell swing and the kettlebell clean. All right, so kettlebell, starting behind the kettlebell every time. Hands are out in front of me, go. Standing over the kettlebell this time, slight hinge, knees are bending. It's a violent upright row, and then I'm catching it into a goblet position. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead. Let's start with the broad jump. So here, I like to drop into my jump position, starting from a standing position, because we're thinking about this recoil effect. Pull the rubber band back quick, snap it, and go. All right, here we go. All right, now we're gonna get into the vertical jump. So I'm gonna use the wall as my marker. I'm gonna reach up and jump towards. All right, here we go. So we're adding in the broad jump from a seated position. So I've got no momentum to create that recoil. I just gotta create as much power from this as I can. I'm gonna jump up as far as I can. This is just to displace that force that was taking me this way and go this way. All right, let's do it. There we go. what I've got programmed are some flying 10s on this curved treadmill. Flying 10s is just a method of practicing or training someone's top end speed. So the goal here is to build up nice and slow and then get up to that point for a super short duration. Flying 10s, so only 10 yards. Once you cross that 10 yards, you're slowing down, walking and stopping on the treadmill, and then repeating. What a build phase would be like: lean forward, strike your feet at the front of the mill, and just watch as you gradually start to increase. So if I'm in the center, well, I'm not moving. But if I force myself forward, already speeding up, I'm leaning forward because I want to accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Bop! And break. That's it. All right, so we're just checking off the boxes: movement prep, dynamic prep. We did our speed and power work. Now let's go ahead. We're gonna dive into the strength series. We're gonna stick to 2 exercises. The first exercise is gonna be a dynamic, just unilateral movement, meaning that there's going to be one foot that we're really prioritizing the work to do. If we're getting even just more specific, it's gonna be contralateral movement, because the weight that I'm holding on to is on the opposite side of the load leg that I'm focusing on. So I'm gonna be doing a reverse lunge. Left hand's got the weight, left foot stepping back, get a nice deep stretch, and step through. Gonna go with a single arm strict shoulder press, challenging a lot of our muscles that help us stabilize. But again, the main movement here is the overhead press. I'm gonna take the dumbbell, clean it up. I like to use, you probably see my opposite arm out to the side. And it's not just because I wanna see my arm flexing, but more so just to help create tension across this whole unit of a body so that I'm stable and generate as much power into the main movement that I'm doing. Let's go. I'm just gonna get into a nice comfy position. The way I would cue this is I'm gonna have 1 or 2 hands on my chest, and I'm thinking about breathing in through my nose, into my belly first, leading that up to my chest. I'm gonna hold it for 3 to 4 seconds, and then exhale as slow as I can, and just empty the whole tank for another 3 to 4 seconds. So it's gonna be an inhale for 4, a hold for 4, and an exhale for 4. Here we go. And I would repeat that for a total of 10 breaths. A method that we like to use, a tool that we like to use with using our breathing, is called box breathing. So just imagine a box where each line represents either an inhale, an exhale, or a breath hold. So the top and the bottom box lines of the box represent the inhale and the exhale. The sides of the box represent the breath hold, with you having no air in the tank or with you having a full tank of air. And this is just a good way to, one, again, get us from this flight or flight into rest or digest. Also allows us to stop thinking about everything else and just focus and be present in our breathing, and allow us to cool down and get on with the rest of our day. So there you have it.